out to Greg's car in the parking lot, and he pulled out an esky filled with the 30 stubbies of 4X gold that was still chilling in your fridge the day you were rushed to hospital. We gladly sank those stubbies like you wanted, Kath, and we toasted your good name. I told Greg some things he didn't know about you, like how you wrote me those beautiful and tender emails when Dad was finally killed by the Durries. He's not dead while his name is still spoken, Trent, you reminded me. And Greg told me some things I didn't know about you. How you cut out my journo stuff out of the paper and you glued the clippings into those sacred scrapbooks that documented your life and all that you cared for. I was so touched that a mate's mum would take the time to do such a thing. Well, wait till you see this, Greg said. And he leaned into the boot of his car and he pulled out your sky blue Olivetti Studio 44 typewriter. She wanted you to have it, he said. I told Greg that I'd write something special on your typewriter. I said I would write something filled with love and depth and truth and frankness and heart because you were so loving and deep and true and frank and heartfelt. I said it wouldn't be cynical and glib, Kath, because I can't do cynical and glib anymore. The global market for cynical and glib has been flooded. The cynics bob up in your cornflakes. They pop out of your toaster in the morning like a burnt slice of mouldy tip-top. Some 4 million people and counting are dead from a virus, and hell no, I don't feel like being sarcastic. I feel like being open and true and right flippin' here and right flippin' now. I told Greg I wanted to walk through the streets of Brisbane CBD for 2 months asking random strangers to tell me love stories. I told him I then wanted to sit for 2 straight weeks with the Olivetti on the corner of Adelaide and Albert Streets, on the edge of King George Square, and ask random strangers to stop and tell me more love stories. And then I wanted to write about all those love stories on your beautiful Olivetti. I don't know, man. Something inside me is telling me I need to do this, I said. And maybe it's this awful ass boil of a pandemic that refuses to be lanced. And maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just something I need to do. I know Kath would say it sounds cheesy as hell, I said to Greg. But do you reckon she'd mind if I did something like that with her typewriter? He didn't hesitate, Kath. I can't remember when your son was ever hesitant. I think she'd love nothing more, he said. So here I am, Kath. I'm writing this letter to you on the Olivetti as I sit on the corner of Adelaide and Albert Streets at a small fold-up table that I bought from BCF for $50. And I'll use that as my writing desk. I've just spent 2 months walking through the streets of Brisbane asking random strangers to tell me love stories. I've been shutting up and listening to the world. Back and forth through the city streets for 60 days, talking to people about love and what it means and what it is and where it comes from and what it feels like to find it, lose it, keep it and cherish it in the good years and the bad years and the arse-boil years like these ones we're living in now. Back and forth from the Orient Hotel at the end of Queen Street and down to the brown Brisbane River that rises every 15 or 30 years to remind us we're only ever 3 steps away from the mop and the bucket. And here I am now, spending 2 weeks sitting on this corner on a $15 fold-up blue chair I bought at Big W on Edward Street, with another $15 chair beside me that random strangers keep sitting in as they kindly, gently, wildly, courageously, beautifully tell me the love stories of their lives. Between the love stories, I'm tapping out letters to the people I love, inspired by the stories I've just heard. Just yesterday, I wrote a letter to Joni Mitchell. This morning, I wrote a letter to frickin' Whitney Houston. The Olivetti is working like a dream, Kath. I took it to Gary Hill, the typewriter repairer in Everton Hills. He put a new ribbon in it and cleaned the letter hammers. Gary worked for Olivetti from 1974 to 1991, and he was so impressed by the way you'd looked after your typewriter, Kath. Beautiful machine, Gary whispered. He dated the Olivetti to the mid to late 60s. There's no parts available for this, but I don't think you're going to need any, he said. What are you using it for?